A company has been working with a supplier that made prototypes for them before moving into production. The prototypes looked great and everything seemed ready for production. But when the first batch of fully assembled products arrived, the quality did not meet expectations. After some back and forth, the supplier responds, "Well, we can hit the quality level, but it'll cost 20% more." Now the team is left really frustrated and confused, and they're left asking, how did things go so wrong after such a promising start? If this hasn't happened to you, then chances are you've heard a similar story. And this is exactly where a supplier agreement comes in. While it's a legal document, its real value is in setting expectations, making sure both sides are aligned before production begins. And in this video, we'll go over the key terms you should negotiate in your supplier agreement to avoid costly surprises like this one. So, what exactly is a supplier agreement, and how will it prevent this example from happening to you? In contract manufacturing, a supplier agreement is a formal document that outlines the expectations, responsibilities, and terms between you and your manufacturing partner. It covers things like pricing, quality requirements, lead times, payment terms, ownership of tooling, and more. Without a written agreement, things quickly turn subjective, and things that were never perceived as an issue will quickly become uncovered. Without this agreement, you're left in a gray area with no clear way to resolve the issue. And this document doesn't need to be long or complicated, but it must be clear. Now let's dig in a bit and go over the terms you should negotiate in your supplier agreements. The first will be pricing and payment terms. Pricing and payments might be the most obvious one, as they define how you'll financially work with your supplier and helps avoid surprises down the line. Most suppliers will have a minimum order quantity, or MOQ. That's the smallest order size you'll accept, and your pricing is usually tied to that quantity. But don't just have one price, make sure you have tiered pricing based on higher volumes. So for example, if you're paying $10 per unit at 1,000 pieces, then you should also have quotes for higher volumes as well, such as $9.85 at 5,000 units and $9.60 for 20,000. This should help you to understand your costs as you scale up. And when it comes to payment terms, be specific. Some suppliers will offer net 30 or net 60 terms, others will want a down payment to start the order. Whatever you agree to, make sure it's documented. This keeps your cash flow in check and sets clear expectations. The second is tooling ownership. If you're building custom tools like injection molds, jigs, or dies, you need to define who owns them. Just because you pay for them doesn't mean you automatically own it, especially if it's stored at the supplier's facility. Your contract should clearly state that you're the legal owner of the tool and that you can move it to another supplier if needed. It should also cover what happens if the supplier shuts down or no longer are able to make your products. And tools are expensive, so make sure you protect them. The third one is lead time and delivery commitments. Lead time is one of the most common pain points between buyers and manufacturers. Your contract should state the duration from the date of the PO to the date of the shipment. Also define when the lead time starts. Sometimes it's from the date of the PO, and other times it's from the date the down payment is made. If delivery times are critical for your business, you may want to include penalties for delays. This is a way to reinforce the importance of staying on schedule and helps the supplier to prioritize your order. The fourth is warranty and quality terms. Before you go into production, you need to objectify what an acceptable product is and what happens when things don't go right, which will happen. That means setting agreed upon quality standards that take into account functionality tests, tolerances, cosmetic expectations, and more. In your warranty terms, clarify the supplier's responsibility. If a shipment has defects, will they remake the parts? Will they cover the cost of returns and issue credits? Also, you should define how long parts are under warranty for. The fifth one is engineering support. Products very rarely stay the same. Most of them evolve based on customer feedback. Your contract should outline how the supplier supports changes in the design. Some of the questions that need to be answered are, will they offer DFM? Will they update tooling? Will they update any technical drawings and share those with you? And also, who is responsible for approving change requests? This section should answer all of these questions. And lastly is procurement of long lead time items. If your product includes components with long lead time items, which can be common for electronic components or specialty materials, you'll want to address this as well. Talk to your supplier about how these items are managed. Will they buy them based on your POs, or will they purchase long lead time items out of good faith based on your forecasts? Also, clarify who carries the risk if demands shift. Getting this in writing helps avoid production delays and material shortages. These are the core sections that you and your supplier must agree on before production starts. Again, while it's a legal document, it should be viewed as a way to set expectations for both parties. If this is your first time drafting a supplier agreement, then here are a few quick tips to help you get started. First, don't wait until there's a problem to create the agreements. The best time to get this contract finalized is before the first PO. Once production starts, it gets harder to negotiate. Second, keep it simple. Your first agreement doesn't need to be 20 pages long. Focus on the important terms such as pricing, payment terms, tooling, lead times, quality, and tool ownership. You could always add more as your relationship grows. And finally, don't rely on verbal agreements or email threats to define your terms. What feels like a friendly understanding today can quickly turn into a misunderstanding in the future. Put it in writing and make sure both sides align before production starts. Most of the problems companies run into, such as unexpected costs, missed deadlines, poor quality, can be traced back to unclear expectations, and a solid supplier agreement will prevent this. If you're getting ready to move into production, or if you're thinking about switching suppliers, make sure you create your supplier agreements. I hope you guys have a better understanding of the terms to add to your supplier agreements. If you have found this helpful, then please like it, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you do have any questions, then just please comment below and I'll get back to you. Thank you everyone for watching.